Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone out there, in here, everywhere. I am Komi Nakomi, guys, and welcome back to Komi Nakomi World for the episode 7 of season 3. Getting mixed up here. Episode 7 of season 3 of The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. It was an amazing episode, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. It was parts where I teared up. Oh my goodness. And I'm just thinking about this part. And other parts that were a little shocking, and other parts that was very gratifying for any type of fan of the book series or of the TV series. There were great parts in there, and I'm so excited to basically share it with you guys. I can't wait to get into it. Please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so before. Hit the notification button if you haven't done so already, so that you know when I go live, guys. Earlier today, I had a really, really cool episode with Shar from Watt on Color. Watt in Color, and we just went over different parts of from the season that we've loved and we have appreciated from the season. But this episode, I'm going to go over my breakdown of episode 7 of The Wheel of Time, guys. I am so excited to do so. I'm only going to have spoilers up until Shadow Rising in the books for the book series, and up until episode 7 of the book series. I might interject here and there with different thoughts I might have, or thoughts that I had in that episode that I had with Shar that I want to share here. Some really cool things that I thought about that was just like, or just interesting things, basically things. But at the same time, we're going to be talking about episode 7. So let's just go ahead and get in it. Okay, so From the Hills of Tanchico, which is a song that has been stuck in my head all week. I really, really, it made me cringe a little bit watching Elaine perform it in episode 6, but at the same time, for some reason, that song has been stuck in my head. I was at work and I was about to leave, and the Hills of Tanchico just started going off in my head, and I don't know why. I really can't. But at the same time, it's a bop. It's kind of a bop. I kind of feel like it was like the Wheel of Time third age version of the Players Anthem. Everybody knew it. Everybody knew it, and they all knew the assignment when that song comes out. They all knew the assignment. But anyway, from the Hills of Tanchico to the Mountains of Mist, there's the small sleepy village of Emmons Field is preparing to defend itself. They have they built fortifications around the entire town with logs shaped down to be spikes. So if anything attacks, they're going to hit them, because they knew from the last episode that Trollocs were coming out of the Waygate into the Two Rivers area. So they figured, obviously, when Bane, Chiad, and Fael got back home, they let them know that, hey, the Hawks is out. They about to come out. The Ops is definitely in the area. So the town started to prepare, and I was so proud of seeing Emmons Field prepare in the way that they did in the Shadow Rising. They had battlements and watchtowers built, and they're all training in the yard and in the square on how to defend themselves in combat and hand-to-hand combat. They're training with spears. And they're under the watchful eye of Maxim, who is training them as best as possible. These are untrained soldiers. They're just farmers and blacksmiths. But there's something in the blood. There's something in the blood of Manetheren. And they are here and they're training and knowing that basically this means life or death. You know what I mean? If they don't train or are ready and prepared, the Trollocs are coming to wipe the entire town out. It's obvious and evident by now. And even the Coffin Girls are doing their part by practicing the channel with Alana. She's practicing with both of the girls. And even Loyal is out there inspecting weapons. He was looking at and testing out a sword. That was pretty cool. I was just like, okay, even the very placid Ogier is preparing itself for war. You know what I mean? And of course, at hard work at the forge is Perrin Ibarra. He's there, great Nat Turner fro, golden eyes going on, and he's looking at everything, and it almost looks like he's just like, how did my town that I grew up in, turn into this? You know what I mean? Turned into a war camp. And Ban and Will Alcine are sitting there like, sharpening a sword, and they're just like, Perrin is just like, make sure you sharpen it well. And they're just like, yes, Lord Perrin. Another one, he says, don't call me that. And he's like, okay, Lord Golden Eyes. I was just like, yes, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Very, very quick, but ta'veren. ta'veren. And then when the alarm goes off, it starts to ring, and Trollocs, somebody says, Trollocs with wagons, says Senbui. Senbui is always on the wrong side. He's always on the wrong side here. He's always on the wrong side of history, Senbui. But no, of course, it's not Trollocs with wagons. Why would Trollocs have wagons? It's the Tinkers or the Tuatha'an. And they have come to the two rivers for asylum, for protection. Obviously, they usually try to avoid walls, but maybe knowing that knowing of a person named Perrin Ibarra and knowing where he comes from, they decided to maybe find something that is some place of safety. And not only they are there, there's always also other people from the Two Rivers who have been raided by Trollocs across the countryside and have heard of Perrin Ibarra and Emond's Field, and have come for safety. I thought it was really, really cool that they had that part in there, because it's just like, okay, what's going on with Watch Hill and Devon Ride, and of course Taren Ferry got wiped off the map. Taren Ferry folk, who cares about them? You know what I mean? But so no, Perrin goes to the gates, looks through with his good eagle eye, and he says, "Open the gates." It's Tuatha'an, and so they come in, and they of course welcome them in, and there's Aram and Isla. And why are they there? Because Trollocs have attacked them, and they also killed Rain, which is Aram's grandfather and Isla's husband, the seeker of the group of Tuatha'an, if you will. He was killed in the attack, but they have they've come for safety. And by the way that it seems, Aram is definitely upset at this, what happened. But while they're coming in, Faile, Bane, and Chiad come back, and they look at him and they give him that basically means that we are all in for a hurt of trouble. So he realizes that since Isla said that they were about like a few miles away, he realizes that, okay, they're way too close. They're probably going to attack Emond's Field tonight. So that's the way the whole entire episode starts off. They try to remove the meat from the food for the Tuatha'an, because Tuatha'an are vegan. Yeah, I believe they are vegan. So, but at the same time, Isla's very, very gracious. She's just like, oh, thank you. And then she looks at Aram like, don't eat that food. And then Aram, talking as they're talking about what happened, Aram just really seems disgruntled, saying that because Isla was like, Perrin, I always thought that you would sooner or later find your ways back to our wagons. And Aram was just like, why? So he could be dead like Rain. I was just like, damn, Aram, you okay? Yeah, I feel it. I understand. From the books, I understand completely, But Perrin, on the other hand, seems like he's trying to find a balance between war, which is a reality of this world. Obviously, they're preparing to be attacked, and some of them to die, and they're preparing to fight back for survival. But he's trying to find a happy median somewhere between war and the way of the belief. Until so there's talking, and both sides kind of really appreciate what he's saying. And at the same time, Bane and Chiad are over at the side looking at Aram like, he looks good for a coward. I'm just like, damn, son. He's going to call him out like that. That's just wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Anyway, meanwhile, the Emmons Fielders are my kind of people. Absolutely. They're making Molotov cocktails like they're ready for the revolution. They're ready for the resistance. Resistance. And they're sharpening everything that can be basically made into a weapon. They're sharpening knives, they're sharpening axes, they're brushing up, and they're training. The Coffin Girls are impatient with Alana's training, though. They're wondering when can they make fireballs, and this is like, damn, you ain't even learned how to really embrace the source whatever you want to. You mean to just teach you, just give a 5-year-old a gun? I can't do that. You don't even know when the safety's on or off. You don't even know where the safety is. Matter of fact, it's not even loaded. Anyway. And Alana is just telling her, like, listen, it's going to take too long for me to teach you battle weaves. I'm just teaching you enough so that you can link with me. All right. So you need to chill. Then Days Conger basically comes up closer, and Alana realizes that she can see the weaves too, and she asks her if she wants to join the lessons. And Days is just like, do I have to be sober? I'm not mad at Days. Do I have to be sober while I do it? Can you channel while you're drunk or at least a little tipsy? That's a prerequisite, I believe. That's a prerequisite. Anyway, so after an argument with Senbui, of course, Maxim is like, are you going to... Maxim tells Alana, we're all going to die here. So I hope you know that I know that from looking over what we have here, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. And then out of nowhere, someone unfurls, I think that's the word, the wolf banner. It's a white banner with red, I guess red tassels around, kind of a little rough looking, but it's very, very grassroots with a wolf on the banner. And that, I guess that's supposed to be representing of Perrin, who Fail said that they spread around a rumor that it's not a rumor, that wolves hate dark, the dark friends. Basically, they hate Trollocs and they will fight Trollocs to death. Very, very good marketing. I love it. And so they adapt that symbol, which somehow is connected to Fail, because she now knows that he's a wolf brother. Fail was helping you out, bro. Do not overlook Fail at all. I mean, I know that by now he really feeling Fail, and Fail obviously feeling him. She was, she his ride or die chick. I feel it completely. So I love it. The wolf banner falls, and Fail says that the two rivers will follow him because he's one of them. Not Alana, even though she's the best general, or not whatever. Anybody else but him, because he's one of them. And if he could fight the shadow, then so can they. I love that. I love the way she said that. So Perrin meets with Dane Bornhall. She calls a meeting, a truce, and basically he makes a promise to him that if he helps them fight the Trollocs, then he will give himself up and he will turn himself in to the White Cloaks for killing Dane's dad. Fail, of course, didn't hear it because he was talking real low and making sure that she couldn't hear. But Dane turned him down, saying, "You're the dark friend. I'll mop up the pieces, whatever's left of you." Perrin, stupid cub, foolish, but stupid. So Loyal's writing in his books, and he asks, he's listened to the banter of the two maidens, and he realizes he has an idea, and he asks the maidens to play Maiden's Kiss, and they've been trying to get him to play Maiden's Kiss this whole entire time. I mean, the maidens are here for a good time. They are trying to find out what that Ogier do. Absolutely, and I'm here for it. I'm human. I'm only human, people. So, but at the same time, oops. Wow. 2 seconds. Ugh. Hot mess Thursdays. But I'm okay. Anyway. I've wasted enough. Anyway, So he asks them to play Maiden's Kiss, and they play, and every time he goes to kiss them, or they go in to kiss him, he moves away. And with the way the game's supposed to be played, when they are, playing Maiden's Kiss, they're supposed to keep the spear at the person's throat. And if they basically kiss badly, they're supposed to kill them as incentive for kissing them. So Loyal spent the time basically moving his head around and bobbing and weaving the whole entire time, waiting for them to kill him. Until I think it was Bane who realized that, oh, hold up. He wants us to kill him. So he could basically relinquish their toe so they could leave and be safe, because everybody's gonna die. But she realizes, and she says that you have dishonored me by trying to take away my toe like that. So now Chiyad has told to you. So basically, and I go wherever Chiyad goes. So whatever. So that's basically what happened. And they just like, yeah, we're not going nowhere. No, 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 no way. No way I'm leaving without you. I'm not leaving without you. So anyway. So Alana and Maxim last night, it's their last night on the world basically together, and so he's teasing her with some figs, and it's just like, can you taste it? Do you feel it through the bond, how good it is and how much I'm enjoying it? I think that would be interesting. It's an interesting feeling to have, I can imagine. But they decide to put all their stuff and bullshit aside, and they decide to enjoy their last day on earth and make love with each other. And I'm here for it. It was beautiful. And she tries to kind of pull in a little bit of their usual routine. And I'm just like, yeah, it's crazy how people who have been together for such a long time, they kind of get used to the routine of, oh, I know exactly how to press those buttons and what buttons to press. But he's just like, no, let's make something new. And I was like, I feel you. Don't pull out none of the old books out of the old tricks out of the old books. Let's do something different and something new. Let's make something new and forge a new bond between them. I absolutely loved it. So, as he's sharpening his axe, Perrin just sitting, just focused on sharpening the axe over and over and over again. He takes a glance up at the hammer, the blacksmith's hammer that's on the wall. I'm just like, that's awesome that he's like really just kind of thinking about that and sees that, or at least it just comes to mind. And then right then he hears Faile approaching because of the knives up her sleeves. He's just like, you can't sneak up on me if you have those, just so you know. And she tells him that she basically she's trying to tell him that it's okay to be afraid. And he tries to do that whole, I'm going to be mean to you so you basically can leave thing. But she's just like, I'm not going nowhere. And it sounds crazy to me because it's just like, it feels like there's this fight against, not fight, but resistance. I like it, against the whole women shouldn't take part in battle thing, which obviously is expelled by the by maidens being there. But at the same time, Faile's it's like, you can't stop me from fighting, and you shouldn't basically be mourning your wife because she decided to fight and died in the fight. She wouldn't have, she has more honor from fighting and dying than basically cowering in a corner until the fighting was over. So celebrate her rather than mourn her. I kind of feel like that's a theme that I'm hoping that doesn't become a usual theme in this show. There's a lot of things that we let go in the show, and I'm here for it. That's one of the things that I'm glad that it's not going on. Meanwhile, the coffin girls are down. But Perrin cheers them up by showing them a picture of Matt, because they're just like, well, why didn't Matt come home? I wish that Matt was home, and I can get it because, their parents haven't been, their parents passed away, or I don't know where. Forgot what Matt Cawthon's dad's name, Mr. Cawthon. I don't know what Mr. Cawthon is. Last time I heard, he basically went with Tam al'Thor, which wasn't in this season. Who wasn't in this season? I'm mad about that. He wasn't there, and so they feeling down, and so to cheer them up, Perrin shows them a picture of Matt holding the horn in Bel-Air because he was the one who blew it. And they're happy and they make fun of him at the same time because they're little sisters and that's what little sisters do. I mean, hey, your siblings are going to know exactly how to make fun of you without embarrassing you, but still make fun of you. I love it. Absolutely. And so Perrin meets with his advisors, hearing, while he's there sitting with the girls and they're laughing a little bit, he spots something in the mountain pass, which is basically torches, hundreds of torches, which he feels like it's a lot of them up there. They'll be attacking tonight. So Perrin meets with his advisors. He asks the Tuatha if they can take the children and go, if it gets bad, to take children out of a tunnel that the Women's Circle dug during the last or after the last Trolloc attack, and it goes out to the woods. If they could take them, they said that Isla was like, I'll be honored. I really appreciated that. A lot of this, not ceremonial, but this the feeling of great importance of everything that's going on during this whole entire episode. And this whole episode is all Perrin. I love the fact that it was all Perrin. It really just squared up that whole entire story arc, but left a little bit of a cliffhanger, which I wonder if will be resolved in the next season. I mean, the next episode, or will it be a cliffhanger for the next season? They could do that. Have people come back. You can't do that to Perrin. So, the Tinkers are going to take the people. The Women's Circle has the secret tunnel into the woods. Loial decides also to leave because he's just like, you guys will not be able to survive if they get reinforcements through that way gate. So he decides to go and close the way gate for good with Bane and Chiad with him. And they also say goodbye to each other. And I was just like, oh, this doesn't feel right. When they do all this ceremony, it doesn't feel right. Somebody gone. Anyway, so the Trollocs and the Dark Friends attack. Sorry, I jumped ahead. My bad. Right after they say goodbye, Perrin is all full armored, and he goes to the front lines of the battle to make sure that everybody's ready. And he gives them hope while talking to them a little bit here and there, just basically talking to like these regular people, giving them compliments of their efforts. And then he just starts to sing the song for Sing for Manetheren that they were singing. He, Matt, Rand, Egwene were all singing on the way out of Emond's Field when Moiraine came and found them and took them out. And for it to come back full circle, I was bawling like a baby in the car. It was really deep and heartfelt. It felt like they reconnected with their roots and realized that if they did it once, they could do it again. They could stand up to the shadow. And it made me, I felt like I found my village. I found my tribe. Two Rivers, Taishar Manetheren. And then the Trollocs attack. Trollocs and Dark Friends. So Perrin leads them and they follow, telling Maxim to have the archer shoot, to hit another volley, to keep on going, being there with them, giving them some courage to stand up no matter what was going on. And the Two Rivers longbow comes into play. When earlier in the episode, I think I might have missed this part in my notes, but basically Senbui was there and was, Maxim was rimming them out, basically saying that they have to practice with the spear to hold the lines. And Senbui is like, F this bloody spear, I can hold the lines with my Two Rivers longbow. And he's just like, well, you better go show me. They were holding the lines. They were sending this arc after arc of bow shot out into the Trollocs and Dark Friends, and definitely holding them off as well as they could. And so while that's going on, Loial and the maidens arrive at the Waygate, and they see that Dark Friends are guarding them. And with a large hammer in his hand, he and the maidens go in to fight them. Back at the Two Rivers, back at Emond's Field, rather, Maxim signals Alanna when Perrin tells him to, and with the Coffin Girls and Days Conger, she rains down these sharp rocks of ice out of the sky, basically like this, like really sharp hail. out of the sky and hitting all the Trollocs and Dark Friends. I mean, Perrin and Maxim, they backed everybody away a little bit because you don't know how accurate you could be when you're just dropping stuff out of the sky, of course. But they rain down this really sharp ice down into the Trollocs and Dark Friends, and they kill a good amount of them until next thing you know, they start to retreat and they leave, and the Two Rivers people really feel as though they've survived, but Perrin knows that something's wrong. And back with the channelers, Days goes to go pick shakily. Everybody's a little shaky on their knees after all that channeling and how powerful the channeling that she had to do was, which makes me really think about Rand. No spoilers past Shadow Rising, but woof, he is strong by the end of the series. He's strong. But anyway, so Days pulls out a flask shakily and just throws it to the side because she's just like, I mean, hey, better than any drink. I'm sure that was better than any drink that you could have ever had. So anyway, the forces of the shadow retreat, and Perrin knows something is wrong or something is controlling them, because why would they do that? That's not what Trollocs just uncoordinated would do. So the forces attack from another side though, as Alana gets shot with an arrow, and Days channels. I mean, out of nowhere, she must be a fast study, just like Egwene and Nynaeve were in the books and seem to be in the show. She channels a huge shield that basically saves everyone. Perrin and Faile and the two Coffin girls and Alana saves them long enough until they can get away to safety. Until she takes an arrow herself, and Days Conger ends up passing. Unfortunately, because I mean that's a really cool thing, because obviously, like they said, I mean, there'll be another spoiler. God, I'm gonna go full spoilers. It definitely there's a lot of channelers historically through the books that come out of the Two Rivers. So yes, the blood is strong there. And so the shadow comes back for round 2. And when the villagers find out Alana is taken down, they want to flee, but Maxim puts some steel in their backbones by saying, I don't know about you, but if I go and flee, we're gonna die. But if I stand here, I have a chance to live. So I'd rather basically go out fighting. How about you? And put some steel in their back, and they're ready to get back out there fighting. So after dispatching Dark Friends, loyal Ebane and Chiad, they take care of all the Dark Friends, and then Loyal takes out the leaf, the Avan Tesora leaf, and uses it to open the gates. And he says that he's going to go destroy it, but he has to destroy it from the inside. So the maidens decide that they're going to stay there and they're going to watch his back from the outside. So the Coffin girls try to heal, because obviously, somebody else has another key. Because he removed the key, which made him think that he was safe, but somebody has another key. They made a key. They made a copy of the key. They so shiesty, man. They're so shiesty. Dark Friends, man. Anyway, so the Coffin girls try to heal Alana, but they can't embrace the source. It is there, and she is just like, it's okay. Y'all did a lot of today. The White Cloaks arrive out of nowhere, to aid Perrin, but so he realizes that the White Cloaks, and they let them in into the gates, but Podden Fane is with them, and Perrin recognizes him, but recognizes him a little too late, and Fane signals for the Dark Friends and Dark Friend White Cloaks to seize the gate, letting in all the Trollocs. So it's pandemonium in there. Everybody's fighting everybody. White Cloaks are fighting White Cloaks. Dark Friends are fighting Trollocs. Dark Friends and Trollocs are fighting everybody. And the Two Rivers people are just trying to survive with those overwhelming numbers. Of course, out of nowhere, they start immediately throwing the Molotov cocktails from off the top of the battlements, to attack all the huge flood of shadow spawn coming at them. And the women circle the side, realize that, okay, the issues hit the fan. Let's go ahead and form a wall in front of the Wine Spring Inn. And so all the women's in the women's circle form this shield wall, and they are prepared. It looks like they are ready to go. Absolutely. And so they go and signal the Tuatha'an to go ahead and leave with the kids. So they flee through the tunnels. Loyal tries to destroy the way gates from the inside with his hammer, hitting against the frame of the way gate on the inside, but it is resisting his every single blow. It is very, very strong. And then he sees torches of shadow spawn, the shadow spawn reinforcements is growing closer and closer as he's there watching and trying to destroy the Waygate. So with no other choice, he decides to destroy the Waygate bridge, which also destroys the Waygate itself and sends them all dropping into eternal darkness. If you know from the books, that's basically, it goes on forever. If you fall there, you fall, at least I believe, forever, unless they change something in the canon of the books in the TV series. So essentially, Loyal has going on to that beautiful setting in the sky. I was very saddened to see that. I saw a little bit of a clip afterwards where Rafe was talking to Marcus Rutta about about episode 7, and he was explaining that there's so many characters, and Lord knows I definitely agree with him. And as I think about it, I can understand there are a lot of characters. This is season 3, and so they introduced the character, but in this turning of the wheel, I guess it might not be completely necessary for Loyal to be a main character. Maybe they bring another Ogier into the storyline, but I get it. And they sent him out really, really well, the character. And Hamed, thank you so much. You did a great job with a very, very well-loved character. You will be missed. I hope that some kind of thing happens where they can rewind time and get you back. I mean, hell, they did it once. Sorry, guys. I need the energy. Apologies. But anyway, so rest in the light, Loyal. So while all at this whole entire time, Bane and Chiad are in a fight for their lives outside when there's an explosion from the Waygate getting destroyed. In the woods with the children, the Tuatha'an are basically chased by a lone Trolloc, just out of nowhere finds them and just takes them through the woods. And as he's trying to hide behind a tree and keep the baby from crying, the baby makes a sound, and a Trolloc comes out of nowhere, but it's not just somebody else who was trying to run at that time. And so the Trolloc, when he was attacking somebody, the sword drops from him, and he realizes Aram sitting there with a nice little baby to go back sitting on his chest. And so to defend himself and the baby, he takes a sword up and basically stabs the Trolloc as it comes to attack them. And I thought it was interesting how they how they brought that in to Tuatha'an with the sword. Wasn't in Min's TV predictions, but it definitely is in the books. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he is received by the Tuatha'an in the next season, or if he's not. But I'll get to that a little bit later. So he picks up the sword and kills the Trolloc, and he's also seen by Isla while he did it, or at least she comes upon him afterwards. So Perrin is just seeing all of the whole melee going around him. He is basically paralyzed by, the fact that everyone here is going to die, and he thinks it's all going to die. They're all going to die because of him. On some level, yeah. At the same time, no, you weren't the only one, but you're the one who's here right now, so you have to deal with the guilt. And Fail comes up and this damn near the word slaps him back into reality. Like, dude, he was almost like he was hiding out. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, and so she convinces him, get back out there into the fight. They need you. What will you give up for the Two Rivers? He's like, anything. Well, get your ass out there, my dude. Anyway, so he goes back out there, and I realize he grabs the blacksmith hammer, and I'm just like, oh, he has the axe and the hammer. Amazing. So, and Fail is there. He asks Fail to come with him to guard his back for all the ones that he misses, because he's gonna basically tear a swath as big as he can through that whole everything going outside. So he gets out, he starts killing them right and left, and he yells for the Two Rivers people to rally to the square so they can all hold there at the square and just do what they can do to survive. And the women's circle are just busting ass. They're just like meat cleavers, this busting ass. That's all I can say. And then, in all this melee, Valda, I saw him earlier basically kill one of his own white cloaks or some white cloak. He stumbled along and stumbles onto Alana and the girls. And he tells them to move away, so he could get to them. And that's when the girls are able to embrace the source and they burn him alive. And I'm just like, yes, absolutely yes. Yes. And yes again, guys. I'm so happy that they were able to do that. And I'm so happy that I'm so happy that they were able to get almost a perfect retribution for their mother, because he had her burnt at the stake. So they were able to burn his ass too. Chef's kiss. Absolutely. And they say for our mother. I'm like, yes, exactly. And so, of course, without being said in the show, now that they are holding the source, they are able to heal Alana. It's kind of weird though, that whole twin thing, that when they join hands, I hope that doesn't become a block, that whenever if they're not holding hands, they can't channel or embrace the source. I know it probably will be, unfortunately. You never know. Maybe Daisy's block is alcohol. Was Daisy drunk when she was healing Perrin? I'm saying. Anyway, call for support, guys. Call for support. Anyway, as I take another sip. Good night, guys. Anyway, the Emmons Fielders, fight bravely, absolutely, but they're being overwhelmed. Then out of nowhere, Podden Fane comes out and slits one of the villagers' throats. And that basically sends Perrin into a frenzy. He decides to just cut a beeline directly for Fane, and before he knows it, he is on Fane and has his axe raised for a killing blow. And Fael's like, kill him, and I'm just like, dang, Fael. I feel it though. Yes, I was waiting for that to happen. But anyway, Perrin realizes something. He is slow. He doesn't act quickly, and they should be happy that he doesn't, because he realizes that it was Fane this whole entire time who was controlling all the Trollocs and Dark Friends. And he makes a deal with him. He says that if you call them all off, you live, and if not, you die. It is what it is. So Fane's just like, it don't matter. I'm gonna have reinforcements here at no time, and we could basically, even if you kill me, you still gonna die. And so so right at that time, they see the explosion of the Waygate, and he's just like, don't seem like you're gonna have no reinforcements. And Fane immediately starts to get scared. And Perrin says, but if you so big and bad, why can I smell that you're scared? Out of everybody here, the farmers that are here, you're the only one that I smell that's scared out here, son. And I'm just like, yes, Perrin, I love you using your wolf abilities. Use those wolf abilities. Anyway, so Fane realizes, and he realizes the math. He does the math, and so he decides to order the retreat. And out of nowhere, all the Trollocs and Dark Friends get up and leave. Mostly I noticed the Trollocs. I'm not sure about the Dark Friends. Maybe the Dark Friends did too. I need to watch it for a third time. I watched it twice already. So they get up and they leave, and the Emmonsfielders celebrate for their survival. I mean, hey, I know I would. I'd be doing a praise dance up and down that whole entire square. You can't stop me. You might as well join me. And so, of course, being the Two Rivers and being Emmonsfield, the next day they already start to rebuild. And now healed Alana is not taking the girls to Tar Valon. She says that the pattern has bigger plans for them. And Aram, of course, is there, sitting very far away from his grandmother, but looking over at her. You can see the distance that has grown because he actually killed somebody or something, and Isla witnessed it. And he is invited by Mistress Alvear to stay in the Two Rivers as a blacksmith because she feels like they're going to be in need of a new blacksmith. I'm guessing that that's because Lord Perrin don't do no blacksmithing on his own, and he won't be even if he wants to. Maybe that's what it is. Foreshadowing. Perrin and company arrive in Loyal's rooms, and they find his book, and they, remember Loyal as being the brave soul that he was, and they read a little bit of the book, and it's a beautiful passage. I'm not going to read it. Maybe I'll go over it a little bit more with Sharnice when I do the review with her, the discussion with her on episode 7. But another part that just brought tears to my eyes listening to Loyal's depiction of the Two Rivers and of Lord Perrin Goldeneyes, of how the Manetheren eagle turned into a wolf head. It was beautiful, absolutely. And but of course, party poopers. Everybody needs a pooper. Every party needs a pooper. That's why we invited you, party pooper, Dane Bornhald. He comes to collect on his promise, on Perrin's promise, and of course, Perrin goes for it because he's a man of his word. And they did come back, and they did fight to help, at least to help them survive long enough for him to get Howden Fane to leave. So he turns himself. He lets them take him into custody, change him up, but he tells the people around that to have peace, someone needs to say stop. And I appreciate that. He's getting his Martin Luther King on. Pacifism. Sometimes pacifism doesn't work. Sometimes you need Martin Luther King. I mean, sometimes you need Malcolm X. Rocking my Rosa Parks t-shirt, actually. Funny enough. Didn't plan that. Kind of forever. The Two Rivers was Wakanda forever, for real. I'm saying. All hues of brown and beige and everything, people. Welcome. You are welcome at our fires. Absolutely. So they come and they take Perrin away, but as he leaves, they're yelling, chanting, Lord Perrin, Lord Perrin, Lord Perrin. I was waiting for them to be like, Golden Eyes. That's coming. I assume it's coming. Anyway, so that's where the episode ends. It was a great episode. I really, truly enjoyed it. It was it was a beautiful thing to see it brought to life. After all the rereads that I've done over the years, it was beautiful to actually see it brought to life. But I will say that, I mean, it definitely it makes me wonder whether or not we're going to touch on it in next episode. Because I mean, honestly, at the end of this book in the series, they skip a whole entire book before you see Perrin. So I mean, spoiler if you haven't seen it already. But yeah, they basically leave us on this cliffhanger, and I'm like wondering, are we going to see Perrin in the next episode? Or are they just going to leave us hanging until the next season? I doubt the Two Rivers are going to let anything happen to Perrin. I doubt the pattern is going to let anything happen to Perrin. Let's just say that. Period. So But that's the way the episode ended. And then as I hung around, they showed the episode 8 preview, which I'm gonna go over real quick for you guys. Just my little thoughts and hoping of what's was gonna happen. I didn't see any previews, unfortunately, of I'm sorry, if you haven't seen this preview and you would like to watch it yourself before listening to me talk about it, please go ahead and turn off the episode now. Please go ahead and like this episode before you turn it off, though. Thank you kindly. Appreciate it. But so the preview for episode 8 is pretty much just Tanchico and the Waste. That's what it looked like. So if they do include anything from the Two Rivers, it will be a very happy surprise. My hands are clean. F you. Anyway. So to start off with Rand arriving in Al Kerdal, and there's hundreds of thousands of Aiel surrounding the Golden Bowl, and he goes to basically do what he has to do to close out the end of the show, end of the book. And so next shot I noticed was of Tom saving Elaine, running from somebody with a lightsaber, and it looked like it was basically one of the Black Sisters with the Black Rod, which in the books creates balefire. So I don't know how Tom knew that it was going to be something that's going to be dangerous, but yeah, go ahead and run. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't look like she knows what she's doing. Also, then you see Nynaeve underwater, and I'm just like, oh, I would love it if we basically forego the next 5 books or 3 books and basically just jump to this being over with. I'm not going to spoil it, but I would really, really love it if we basically end this whole entire block. Also, you get Rand telling Lanfear that she's a monster, which basically set up a whole conversation that Charlize and I had in my episode that I did right before this today live. I'm going to update the title so that it's more correct. But at the same time, I'm going to it's basically, we were talking about how Lanfear is a monster, and she acts like a teenager, where all the other Forsaken are not exactly saying they're adults, but the way that she acts towards Rand is just like, he's mine and you can't have him. It's going to be interesting. Rand in the preview, Rand calls her a monster, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, Rand. My shoulders have slumped now after that weight has been lifted, that you finally call her a monster to her face. But I know that's not going to end well. You should have asked Moraine for advice on how you should let her down easily. Anyway, then all the channelers are seen in a room together, and they're all just channeling at the same time. You have like Avienda, Moraine, Rand, Bear, and Egwene. It's all channeling inside of a room inside the Cold Rock's hold, it looks like. And I'm just like, oh, what happened? I'm wondering what happened and what they're preparing themselves for. That'd be really interesting if they all basically link with Rand. I wonder. Anyway, so after that, the Aiel are ready to as far as Rand is concerned, the Aiel are ready to face their past. They're ready to face the truth. And Rhuarc is like, don't do it. And Rand is just like, I have to. But anyway, so Siuan also is seen in this preview that she is in trouble in the tower, and things are going crazy, and she's wondering, what are y'all doing? How dare you? And it basically seems like, yeah, it's falling apart and unraveling for Siuan very quickly, unfortunately. But the wheel weaves as the wheel will. Yeah, it is what it is. Then you see Moraine channeling against Lanfear. And I'm just like, are we going to really do so much at the end of season 3, but I'm just like, yeah, they basically they gotta jump ahead if they're gonna basically be able to give us the entire book series within several seasons. I don't know how many seasons they're committed for. Maybe Amazon was like, we're giving you 3 more seasons, wrap this up, which would be a shame. But I guess 6 seasons. I mean, hell, my wife just gave me the Expanse box set for my birthday. I love her so much. Well, my daughter basically spilled the beans saying that she was the one who thought about it. But at the same time, I'm so glad that she thought about that. No, she thought about the golfing set, the putting set. My wife thought about the Expanse. I appreciate you. She listens. Like Moraine, she listens. So, but Moraine is channeling against Lanfear. And I'm just like, we might be wrapping up a whole lot of storylines because we got to move through. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this season ends and reviewing this whole entire thing, doing a whole rewatch, tying up different. I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole season for each group. And I think it's going to be super fun. And I hope to do that with you guys and with my other creative friends out there. I'm looking forward to it. Please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so before. Please also share me with your friends and hit that notification button so you know when I go on live, guys. I really, really appreciate you for sticking this long with me, for sticking with me throughout this entire season. I've so much enjoyed this season, so I'm just really enjoying, just talking to you guys about it and interacting with you in comments. So even if you haven't watched it live, go ahead and drop a comment so that I could basically talk to you about different things that are going on in the season and what my predictions might be. Please hit me up on Instagram at Call Me Nakomi. Please find me on Blue Sky and X or at Call Me Nakomi with the number 1. Please also email me at callmenakomi@gmail.com if you have any comments or suggestions, or just want to chop it up. You got a business proposal? Holla at your girl. I'm here. Business degree ready. Anyway, I so much appreciate you for being here. Please take care of yourself, take care of one another, and may you always find water in the shade. I see you back here for episode 8. Deuces, guys.